Viewers, what happens when the answer sheets of lakhs and lakhs of students, their personal details and the integrity of a national examination system come under question, come under scrutiny? That is the big controversy that is now engulfing the CBSE's on-screen marking system, or OSM. So for days, students have been complaining of portal glitches, of login issues, of problems in accessing their own answer sheets. But now, questions go far beyond these technical errors. A 19-year-old ethical hacker, Nisarga, has claimed that he flagged serious security vulnerabilities in the system months ago. He said he did it in the month of February itself, and also alleges that scanned answer sheets may have been accessible through improperly configured cloud storage settings, raising concerns about the security of student data and also of exam records. On social media, there are many students, many CBSE students, who have claimed that the answer sheets could be viewed or downloaded without adequate access controls. Others have also questioned the quality of the scanned copies themselves. They are pointing to visible folds and shadows and are also asking whether the prescribed scanning standards were followed. So CBSE on its part has also acknowledged that yes, there were vulnerabilities that were flagged and these are in the public domain. The board also says that cybersecurity experts from government agencies and IITs have been deployed and that identified vulnerabilities have already been contained. That is the response of the CBSE now that new questions are being raised on data security and that a wider security review as per the CBSE is also underway. The board has also publicly thanked both ethical hackers and also alert citizens for reporting potential security issues and has said that it was in touch with some of them directly. But there are more questions that are now being asked. Were these vulnerabilities present for months? Were earlier warnings overlooked? Were warning signs missed until the system came under public scrutiny? Was sensitive student data exposed? And most importantly, how secure is the exam infrastructure on which the future of millions of students, now depends? We are going to speak to the 19-year-old ethical hacker, Nisarga. He's supposed to be joining us in he's joining us in moments from now. And his findings now have raised fresh questions on the security of CBSE's evaluation system. Nisarg, thank you so much for speaking to us here on Times Now. I want to understand from you, Nisarg, what was your finding? What happened? You are saying that you had flagged some issues. So for parents who are watching this broadcast, for students who are joining us on this broadcast, explain to us in very simple terms, what did you find out? How did you stumble upon these kind of vulnerabilities? What were you trying to do?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay, so in 25 February, when CBSE first announced that they're gonna do OSM markets, I used to do ethical hacking from a long time, so it just sparked my curiosity to see how the data is in process and how is the whole thing gonna work. So the portal link, which were they using to evaluate the data or the answer sheets, were public. So I just opened the portal and started analyzing the code which was there. And during the analysis, I found that the master password, which is being used in the portal, is hard-coded. And with that password, anyone with anyone's user ID can log in to the portal and start evaluating sheets, which is a pretty big security concern. I got into the dashboard and gained access. I started evaluating some sheets just to test if it is working. And during the time I was in the dashboard, I found other vulnerabilities. It was more than 45 or 46 vulnerabilities. I documented all of them with the help of AI and wrote a mail and flagged it to certain, which is Computer Emergency Response Team of the Indian government. It's a government body which helps companies mitigate cyber threats. And after that, I got a response back saying that they need more information. I gave them more information. I sent them recordings and step-by-step guide, which will teach a baby how to do hacking. I gave them that, and they reached out to me saying that thank you for telling us this. We'll be in touch. We're going to inform the authority involved in this. So 2 or 3 days later, they took the whole portal down. And during that time, I tried to follow up. They didn't reply. And 4 or 5 days later, the portal was back up. The master password was gone, but other 45 vulnerabilities which I reported still stayed in it. So I tried to flag it to CBSE and certain on the vendor again and again, but they didn't respond. And after 3 months, when the results were released, and I thought that there wouldn't be much real risk except a revelation being tampered, I published my findings on Twitter, and that tweet blew up. And after that, CBC initially said that there are no breaches, nothing has been compromised. And during that, CBC made a big blunder. They had to delete that tweet because their domain they mentioned in the tweet was not existent. So we bought for 100 rupees and redirected to my blog.
All right. Nisarg, I want you to explain this, in more details. What I'm understanding is that when you stumbled upon these vulnerabilities, what you found out was the fact that there were 45 such vulnerabilities. You then flagged them to CERT. They did respond to you. They did take some action back then, but then it was not necessary action. Please let me know if I'm getting you right. And also,
yes, you are right. Yes. You're absolutely right.
Right. So, and then the CBSE, despite knowing, because you are saying that you also had written to them. So,
yes.
And when did this happen? Can you actually give us a specific date?
It happened in 25 February, exactly.
So,
I wrote to February in 26 or 27 February to CBSE.
Okay. So, for how many months or for how many days did those
Around
vulnerabilities?
3 months.
So, for 3 months, these vulnerabilities that were pointed out and specifics that were given out by you, they weren't addressed, right?
Yes, they weren't.
Okay. So now give us an analogy. For somebody who does not understand cybersecurity, especially for parents, if this were a house, let's assume this were a house, what was the security problem? Was this like a locked door with a weak lock, or a door that was left completely open?
Door was completely open, and the key was falling on key was in front of everyone in the ground. Anyone can pick up the key and get inside the house.
Okay, now that's extremely alarming. Now you can also tell us about.
That's concerning, and that's it's sad also considering that CBSE denied that they got hacked in the first place.
And that is why
they made the tweet saying my statement was false, that I did it on test data. But when I did the testing, the account I had access of a teacher, we examined it later and with some other reporters, and we found out that that teacher is a real teacher, the real school in India, and he teaches physics, and he was tasked with physics paper evaluation and this year. Why would there be a real teacher's data with his real name, real date of birth, and real phone number in the portal if it was test data? Okay. That's CBSE's claim. And they also made a false tweet and they deleted it. Then they made another tweet, and all the code, all the subdomains that they had, all the portals were running the same, running in the same infra, and they were running the same code, which we also found out. And there is no specific point of using the same instance for running the test server and the production server, which a lot of people use. That was another point. And after that, I also managed to gain access to the production server, which is CBSE OSM.onmark.co.in 3 days ago. I wrote to certain, they took the whole portal down, but it was up for like 4 hours, 5 hours. I was able to upload anime videos and a lot of memes to that page and link it back to Twitter.
This is absolutely shocking. I want to understand more from you, Nisarg. Let's actually break this down in more simpler terms. You are also
suppose you have a server where you host your pages, and there I enter into the server, I gain admin access, and I'm able to make pages or deface your pages or distort your pages or tamper with them. This is the most easiest way I can explain this.
All right.
And I was able to make them publicly facing links on CBSE servers and link them back to Twitter and everything, so people are laughing and all. I also got into news for playing a viral Japanese song on CBSE's website. It was really funny for me. And after 4 hours, they took the whole portal down.
So you are saying that entire portal had, was completely compromised?
It was mentioned in the circular, that portal, yes.
Okay, so you saw the answer sheets, you saw personal data, or...
Okay, let me complete here. I also found a way to extract personal data from the databases, passwords in plain text. Like I can see the password, I can see the phone numbers, I can see the login tokens, like the string, like a very long string of words which you can enter in any browser and you can access anyone's account without notifying them. I could see the names, addresses, school names, bank account details, most specifically, CBSE. And after that, and today morning was the biggest breakthrough, I think, after that, when CBSE admitted to have
Right.
this flaws, was that I was able to access the whole AWS bucket where they were storing their scanned answer sheets. And shocking enough, I was able to access all 18 lakh scanned answer sheets of all subjects, and I extracted some of the samples for the reporters and for people who will contact me later for
Okay.
reports and all. And CBC said in the latest tweet that they tried contacting me, but I haven't been contacted yet by them. If they're watching this, I hope they contact me.
All right.
And this is the biggest breakthrough which I done and which I did. And
So,
after that, we found
I
that
also want
CBC
to
allocated
understand. Okay, Nisarg, let's also understand another thing.
Yes.
For students, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like, if you have to tell them,
this means
if you have
that
to
their
give them
personal
a
data-
warning, what
their-
does this mean?
Their personal data is compromised. If anyone bad actor has found this before me, their personal data is compromised. The marks can be tampered with, and they are not being taken seriously by the government.
Okay.
And what's funny is that CBC had allotted a lot of money in the contracts for scanners. And when examining the scan sheets in the AWS bucket, which is sent to teachers, we found bed sheets in the background. If it was being scanned through scanners, well, why there will be bed sheets in the background? What kind of scanner has a bed sheet and it's like inside of it? So it doesn't make sense. Like, they're using mobile phone cameras to scan the sheets. It was just mismanagement all over and negligence.
So this
That's
is
it.
a case of pure negligence. Now, CBSE has said, like you've mentioned, that they have admitted the vulnerabilities. They are saying that these
They haven't
vulnerabilities
clearly
have been...
admitted it. They have admitted that there have been vulnerabilities. They're working with IIT, and which there is the buzzword. I feel like IIT is a buzzword for them right now. They will just throw IIT at everything and think that tell people that it's okay, it's under control. They said that they are working with cybersecurity people, but they haven't revealed the name of the company which they're working with or the audits. They should be transparent with people. At this point, after being exposed like this on Twitter and after being parroted like this in public, I think they should be at least a bit transparent. At least be transparent to security researchers and whistleblowers who are helping you. We want to help CBSE. I don't have any bad intentions. I'm with the person doing it in good faith. Like, I would have made a lot of money if I sold the data, but I just did it in good faith for the students and all. I'm also a student of CBSE. And I just hope that CBSE takes us more seriously and does a better job in this and be
So
more
since the
transparent.
25th of February, since you first flagged these issues, since you first pointed out that, okay, there are issues with the portal itself, there is, here it's the question of millions of students, their personal data, and how the website itself, there can be manipulations there because of the vulnerabilities in the system. Since then to today, when there is an acknowledgement that the vulnerabilities have been contained, you're saying the CBSE hasn't contacted you yet?
Yeah, they haven't been I haven't been directly contacted by them yet. Yes.
Okay. I also want to understand from you, Nisarg, did you need any special software or any advanced hacking to see them, or were only answer sheets visible, or was there all the other kind of personal data that you were saying?
There are personal data, not of students, but mostly of evaluators, because this portal was for most likely for evaluators. And there was almost all of the data visible because I was able to access a master table, which is like 10 gigabytes and has 9.3 million rows in it, like 9.3 million records of data in it,
So what was the first red flag that made you realize that this wasn't just a technical glitch, but a potential, security issue?
There was like totally. It was just a mismanagement all over, and it was pretty scary to see. Honestly, like the master password thing is like a class one kid will also not do that mistake. It's just a basic rookie mistake all over.
So now that the CBSE has said that the vulnerabilities have been contained, they're also thanking alert citizens. Have you also verified that yes, in fact, all this has been contained? Because there's a lot of criticism. Students are speaking up, students are raising questions, students and their parents are extremely concerned.
I don't know what to say. I just hope that this gets fixed soon. CBC hasn't been transparent at all, and they have been red-handedly caught lying. Like, they said the same 2-3 days ago. They posted an AI generated image that people pointed out, saying that our OSM system is robust and secure. Nothing has happened. We're like the most secure, computer program in India, whatever. And 3 days later, they said that we have deployed a cybersecurity team. We have had some vulnerabilities here and there. This is just funny at this point. Like, a government body is lying at our faces like this, and I don't know what to say. etc. And I'm really not that good at hacking. I'm just a hobbyist cybersecurity researcher. Most of the thing I do is backend engineering and full stack development. I'm an engineer. I'm not a hacker. I just do it for fun. And even if I can do this in this much time, like it took me 30 minutes to find out the first vulnerability, whatever a seasoned hacker will do, they could have just deleted the whole portal. Like one of my friends who were co-researching with me had managed to get write access. Like he was able to write data into the CBSE servers. He could have tampered the data. He could have deleted the databases.
So one, Nisarg, you're saying that, okay, this actually is pretty alarming. If a 19-year-old could do what Nisarg
And
did.
another fellow 19-year-old, like my friend who co-researchers who were working with me are 18,
And it just took all of you 30 minutes?
Initial research was done by me only.
Okay.
It took me 30 minutes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Also, make us understand, after you flagged all these issues, after the questions that have been raised over the last few days, in your opinion, as somebody who has, seen the technical aspect of it, has seen the absolute red flags in the system, who is at fault? You're talking about mismanagement, but
the vendor is at fault. Quemt EduTech, they're at fault. And I want to add some context here for the viewers. Quemt EduTech was known as Glowware and Technologies in 2019. They did a similar kind of screw up in Telangana board examinations, and that resulted in 20 or 30 student suicides. This is alarming. They were blacklisted, they changed the name, and they came back into business. I tried contacting the CEO of this company, they didn't respond. I tried contacting the customer care helpline, they didn't respond. Okay, that's one. This is their fault. CBC negligence, they didn't vet it properly, and there are some links with Quemt and CAC. I'm not going to say that on national TV, but there were some links between them, and they didn't assist me to help them properly. Certain is also at fault. They didn't collaborate with CBSE properly. They didn't communicate with me properly. Every time I ask Certain a question, they just send me a copy pasted response, which is frustrating. Like it's like I'm talking to a robot. They have some templated mails in their data, like in the clipboard. They just paste it and send it to me. Dear sir, madam, thank you for reporting this. We'll be in touch. Doesn't make sense. I just asked the question like, why wasn't it acknowledged? Why am I not in a Hall of Fame, which is a page of security research that they maintain? They just said we'll be in touch with we're in touch with the organizer, will be in touch with you. This doesn't make sense to me. And also, yeah, CBC Certain, they're also at fault. People who manage the tenders, I think they're also at fault.
Okay. So this is the entire exam system that has come under question. There are students today who are...
The system is vulnerable. People can edit data, read data, create data.
So like the CBSE claim, you are telling us that you have evidence to prove, Nisarg, you are telling us that you have proven with, you and ethical hackers or students who have gone in and you all have proven that the claim by CBSE that the OSM system is robust, that claim actually falls flat with the allegations that you are making.
And they're countering themselves actually. Like they today said that our system had vulnerabilities and that is being brought to the public domain.
Okay.
They're countering themselves,
All right.
It's contradicting what
before I let you go, I want to understand once again. So you are now saying answer sheets were open to the entire internet, or there was a risk that they could be accessed?
Anyone with an internet connection could access them. I didn't have any special access. I just knew where they were located. I just knew the URL, and opening the URL, I could find the answer sheets. I could just use a command to list all of them in which folders they are. Get them. One of the reporters asked me to send images of the answer sheets which have pages in the background. I send them. I think that will be broadcast later on TV, but I'll be happy to see it.
All right. All right. So Nisarg, thank you so much for speaking to us. And if there is one thing that you want to tell parents or students who are worried, who are raising questions, who are feeling like the entire exam system has failed them, what is it that you want to tell them today?
I just want them to be more hopeful. I hope CBSE moving forward fixes this, because this is the first time, and I want to cut them some slack and think that this was the first time they're going to fuck ups. But I just hope they take more reports more seriously, treat cybersecurity researchers like me more seriously, and just be more friendly and communicative overall. Don't lie to people, and be more transparent. That's it.
Transparency, that is the call coming in from this 19-year-old ethical hacker or cybersecurity researcher, student maybe, who says that he had flagged these issues way back in February. On the 25th of February, he's giving us the date. He's talking about the mails that he had sent out to concerned agencies like CERT, like also CBSE, and also says that today, yes, there is an acknowledgement from the CBSE that vulnerabilities have been contained, but he hasn't been contacted yet. And the larger issue that he's raising today is that of how data of millions of students' answer sheets, they were all available on the internet. And this revelation is now raising more questions. Thank you so much, Nisarga, for speaking to us and for shining light on what you found out and how there are more questions for the CBSE that remain unanswered. But let's shift our focus now to what the Congress party has been saying. The Congress has also hit out at the center and the CBSE over the latest revelations over the lapses. Congress's Jairam Ramesh has posted on social media platform, and he says, in today's developments on Dharmendra Pradhan's Ministry of Scandals, the answer sheet of 2 million CBSE grade 12 students have been shown to be available in the public domain. This is data breach of monumental proportions, and it compromises the privacy of 2 million students. He further says, and I'm quoting from his post directly, the incompetence and callousness of COEMT, the agency that has faced this storm and is facing questions, is once again exposed. This is the very same company which the CBSE gave the contract to after fiddling with the technical specifications in the RFP, likely to benefit COEMT. So there are a lot of allegations against this company called COEMT. And now Kritika, my colleague, is with us. Kritika, we just spoke to the 19-year-old cybersecurity researcher who had flagged vulnerabilities to CBSE, to also CERT, way back in February. And now the revelations that have come to the fore go on to say that the answer sheets of students were available in public domain. There were vulnerabilities in the system that were flagged earlier itself, but nothing was done. And the Congress party also is saying that the answer sheets have emerged, bear, say, false drop shadows, which are associated with scans made via mobile phones rather than any kind of scanning machines. While the CBSE says they've contained the vulnerabilities, but this is not looking good for the CBSE.
Well, absolutely. They can go ahead and say that they're grateful to these alert citizens as well as ethical hackers. But if what Nisarga is claiming is actually what has happened, then remember they're also claiming that it's not just about the answer sheets being out in public and in fact being could be easily in fact accessed by anyone with knowledge of how to work the code of a website. But what it can also then lead to is the personal data of the students, their mobile numbers, their addresses, their school names, roll numbers, even their bank details. Remember, CBSE has admitted that their payment gateway portal was in fact subject to unauthorized access. The HDFC portal that was handling it, of course, did fail. Students were able to change the fee amount in some cases from ₹1 to ₹68,000, whereas CBSE had maintained that they would only charge ₹100. So this is already a breach that has already happened. Today, the answer scripts have also been able to be accessed. Fresh questions are currently also being leveled, not just on the data breach that has currently occurred, but also on the nature of these scams. As the ethical hacker was also pointing out, 28 crore, this was also one of the amount quoted in the tenders as well. Despite that, the scanning, the quality of the scans, it has been blurred in multiple cases.
And now there are also questions. Papers, the allegations of data breach, the questions being raised by students, and the answers coming in from the CBSE absolutely not convincing students and their parents right now. But thank you so much, Kritika, for joining us with those details.